I am pleased to be here to share the reentry plan for the upcoming school year. Our guiding principle is to always put safety first for our students and for our staff. I'm pleased to say we have a pragmatic plan that lays out the different scenarios our schools may face come September. It details 3 possibilities for student learning, which will be based on the pandemic situation. In the first scenario, which is the scenario we are targeting, near normal operations will resume and students will return to daily in-school classes with some health measures. In the second scenario, in-school classes will only resume partially because of additional health requirements. And in the third scenario, at-home learning will continue. Our goal is to get us back to normal learning as soon as possible. Teachers, school boards, and parents did their absolute best to adapt to a different way of learning as they guided and supported students at home since March. And our students did their best to adapt to that learning from home. We all know, though, that students learn best in the classroom with their teachers and their peers, provided that it's safe to do so. I know parents are keen to see what school may look like in the next year and if students will walk into their classrooms on the first day of school. Based on the information we have at hand right now, we expect that students will be at school in September. Our government will make the final decision on the scenario schools will follow at the beginning of the school year by August 1st. But as I've already stated, we are targeting a return to near normal operations with health measures in place. But that said, all school boards will need to be ready to transition from one scenario to the other on short notice to adapt to any changes in the COVID-19 situation. How we return to in-class learning may vary regionally and will depend on the number of COVID-19 cases in total in that area. The reality is that the COVID-19 environment requires all of us to be flexible and nimble throughout the next school year. Everyone has a role to play to support the safe return of in-school classes and reduce the risk for transmission of COVID-19. I do want to stress that the decision for which scenario schools must follow will be decided by the government based on public health guidance, not by local school authorities. School authorities will not be able to pick and choose which scenario they are operating in. This process is to ensure that all our schools are adhering to the appropriate health measures for their region. The health precautions include frequent hand washing and sanitizing before and after entering school and classes, and increased cleaning of surfaces at schools and on buses. Parents will have to keep students home when sick, and family members who have symptoms must not enter the school. In Scenario 1, which is near normal operations, students and staff should, when possible, practice some physical distancing as a good precaution to prevent the spread of the disease. But in classrooms, buses, and during activities when physical distance may not be possible, then extra emphasis will be put on other hygiene practices. If school authorities were to transition to Scenario 2 at any point, stricter health measures will be in place. This would include physical distancing of 2 meters and a recommended maximum of 15 people in a classroom. In that case, students will attend schools on a modified schedule, and it will be up to the local school authority to create their class calendars. We have tried to strike a balance in the reentry plan to provide standardized approaches in some areas while also providing flexibility for schools to do what works best in their communities. Our government made decisions and is sharing the reentry plan in a timely manner to allow school authorities to continue planning for the upcoming school year. I hope parents and students can take comfort in the extremely likely possibility of a return to their local school in September.